All right, for those of you who have seen Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Nickelodeon or on YouTube, because that's where the first episode is, this will be a talk about it, about the first episode at least. Spoilers included, so don't be upset. Coughing in the background there is Austin.
Hello.
So we're both gonna talk about it. This is actually Austin is joining me, not just coughing. So first we're gonna cover just what did you like, Austin? I'm gonna ask Austin the questions, then I'm gonna answer too. Austin, what did you like and not like about the first episode of Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
All right, so basically, what I liked is mostly just the look of it. So, well, for one, the animation is amazing. I'm really happy that they went with 2D instead of 3D. Because I've always liked the 2D. I've always liked 2D animation better, just for anything. And 3D animation was good for a while for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it looked better than it did in the 2007 movie. But yeah, I'm glad we're back to 2D animation, and it's just the animation is amazing. The fight scenes, like especially when they were going up against Baron and his giant robot, scenes like that were just incredible to look at. And what I like also is I kind of like the fact that well, maybe I shouldn't say like, I'm sort of on the fence about it, but the fact that each turtle is the fact that each turtle is a different type of turtle, because it makes it, they can basically use that to as for personality traits and make them, a little bit more. I like the fact that each turtle is a different turtle because it makes their personality traits a little bit more justified. Like Raph, if well, he's not that aggressive in the show, but if as his base personality is supposed to be aggressive, the fact that he's a snapping turtle is kind of cool. Just as an example. Sorry. And what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the comedy actually works. It's actually pretty funny. That's something I wasn't expecting. Like, I thought it was just gonna be TMNT go, um, but the comedy is actually not bad, and there's a lot more action in it than I thought there would be. Like, because when you think about it, there was only 2 fight scenes, but all there actually was well, not even. There was like the fight scene against Baron, the fight scene against their giant robot, and there was the first fight scene where they all got clapped. But yeah. But that kind of segues right into what I don't like about the show, especially in the first fight scene when they all did get clapped. They fight like idiots.
Wait, didn't Baron say that exact thing? He was like, "You fight like buffoons."
Yeah, he did, but I still feel like that shouldn't be the case.
Do you think that he said that because it's true? I mean, it is obviously true, but do you think the show is being self-aware about how they fight?
I mean, the show is definitely self-aware about it, and I'm pretty sure that they're gonna actually use that for the story, because that's what it seems like. Because it seems like Baron just kind of wants to use them for something, Seems like he's trying to do something to have like mutants rise and do something insane, like take over the world or something like that. I hope it's not just take over the world, but point is, yeah.
You know what was really cool about it though? The mosquitoes. Baron's plan to use mosquitoes to insert mutagen into people. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Like that part of just having, because I mean mosquitoes they bite everyone. Everyone's been bitten by a mosquito in their lifetime. I mean, if you're alive, you've been bitten by a mosquito at least once. So so it just makes complete sense because it's just something that could potentially affect everybody. Kind of like putting it in the water supply or something like that. But there are multiple water supplies, so it's just like mosquitoes would be really good. The other thing that I liked about it, I'm sorry, I'm stealing your point there about the not liking, but the thing that I did like about it was again, also, well, actually, I'm not stealing Austin's thing because we were saying the same thing about the animation. It was really good, and I always look at it and I think about the Procreate app that I use. just to make some images, and I really like it. The animation kind of looks like if anyone has seen the Samurai Jack comic book, it's kind of like if you were to take stills of that, it would look like the show. Or you should take stills of the show, it would look like that. It's kind of like Andy Soriano. So I like that. Back to the fact that they're all this different types of turtles. I do find enjoyment in that. My only problem is that they actually haven't used. It feels like it's for naught. Like it just for Raph especially since he's a snapping turtle. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But he's not really angry. You know, I mean, you guys know I like reptiles, and snapping turtles are very aggressive most of the time. So it. Oh my goodness, Caesar just crapped on the floor.
Ah.
Okay, well, Austin, you take this. I gotta. Okay.
Oh my god.
Tell him something.
Okay. Anyways, so like Andre was saying, um, yeah, the fact that they're all different turtles is kind of cool because it gives them, at least physically, it gives them different, designs. Like Leonardo has those red and blue streaks on him, which is kind of nice. Um, Donatello has those yellow circles on the back of his shell, because he's a box turtle, which is also pretty cool. I like those. I said Michelangelo.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. And Raphael's a snapping turtle, but like he said, it sort of is for naught because their designs don't really correlate with their personalities. Um, or at least not all of them. I mean, I guess Michelangelo being a box turtle kind of does, but uh, the snapping turtle, since Raph is a snapping turtle, he should be like aggressive. When that like in the first fight scene, when he was getting chased around by a dog. I was hyped for like a fight scene between him being Brolic and another Brolic, him and like that other Brolic dude. But when he just called his dog out and started running away, I was like, come on now. It's like come on now. I don't mind the fact that this is a different Turtles, and I get that it's a different Turtles, but the way they set it up, and like the fact that their first enemy isn't the Shredder, or the fact that the mutagen.
Well, it was.
Shut it.
It
Well,
is, but like it wasn't. You never like they never introduced the Shredder first. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, but point is, I don't think he's gonna be working under the Shredder. It doesn't seem that way. He seems like he's his own villain. But anyways, the fact that from what it looks like, the first villain has nothing to do with the Shredder. There's a completely new villain. The fact that the mutagen is being released through mosquitoes, all the different stuff. The turtles being different kinds of turtles, and having completely different physical characteristics. All that is enough to make this Turtles its own thing, like to set it apart from all the other ones, all the other series. So like they don't need to like have the turtles act like buffoons. I mean, I guess if there's some form of growth in them somewhere down the road, but like the first fight scene hyped me up multiple times, and then the hype was crushed because like when Leonardo was about to fight that dude and his swords got broke, I was like, all right, he failed, but he's about to go ham because he started doing all those flips and stuff, and the music was playing and the animation was still great, but then he just fell, and I was like, boy.
Like you can't follow up like failure with failure. I mean, you honestly can, but I mean, just those parts where they were failing seemed like a bit too much. Like I wasn't really like hoping they would like whip it, like be insanely awesome like the first little bit. I mean, I know it's a comedy series, but like at the same time, it was just like they didn't deliver on the action at all. Like we didn't see the turtles really do anything really cool. Because like for example, Raph and Mikey, they failed once to do the ninja mode thing, and then they did another thing, and then Mikey no, Raph threw Mikey at the guy, and then Mikey beat himself up with the nunchucks, and then Raph ran away from the the dog. But it wasn't one continuous fail. It felt like we're having an awesome maybe moment and then a fail, a maybe awesome moment and then a fail. Like they kept kind of going up and down. I thought that was just a little inconsistent, but at the same time, no, wait, I can't say at the same time. I was going to say that this is a new Turtles, and that is true. But at the same time, well, no, yeah, I did say at the same time. This is Turtles. Like, I know it's different, but it's still an awesome. I'm going to fight this thing and I'm going to win. Still should be known for its choreography and fights. It really is known for that. But this didn't really deliver. At least the first episode didn't really deliver on that. I don't want to say the whole series is bad. It's just that this is how we felt watching the first episode. We didn't really like the idea of having the turtles be almost cool and then not be cool.
Yeah, cause when the first fight scene happened and Donnie whipped out that crazy mechanical rocket bow staff, I was like, all right, this is gonna be lit. Cause I'm excited. Like with the first fight scene, at least, I'm excited to see the turtles do something cool that latches on to that grabbed my attention. Like that catches my eye. The fact that they didn't win the fight isn't really the problem. I mean, they still could have been cool, like, and done their ninja thing, without just getting wrecked the entire time. Like, I really would have liked to see them actually be good at what they do. But I mean, I guess I can sort of forgive it because of what happened in the second fight scene. Because that was heat. That was fire. Because especially when they were all fighting Baron, and it was 4v1. Whew! Oh man, that sequence, so good.
You're gonna tell us something about the sequence instead of just breathing into the microphone.
I mean, well, I mean, what is there to tell? I mean, I think Donatello kind of. I think my favorite part about it was when Donatello kind of had his bow staff again, his lit bow staff.
Oh, speaking of which, right now Donnie is best character.
Yeah.
Like Donatello is the best because, I mean, it's not even his design is pretty cool. I think it's kind of a little strange how he has eyebrows and the rest of them don't. But I think yeah, it does help his expressions though. But I actually think it's his character is pretty awesome. Like he's a very we were talking about this earlier. Like normally Donnie is at least in the 2014 version of Turtles, Donnie is a little nerdier. Like but now it feels like he's a little bit more clever in his expertise. Like in his what's the word? In his smarts, I think he uses it not to be nerdy, but to be clever, a little more cynical, but it's kind of nice. So I actually really enjoy his counter to his brother's stupidity most of the time. I really enjoy his character. Speaking of, going right into the rest of them, I think the other turtles are okay. I think Leo is pretty cool. I'm hoping for character development in terms of his cockiness. I think Raph is cool. It was kind of a little wacky, and I think he should be a little more angry, given his snapping turtle design and species. But and then let's talk about Mikey really quick. Mikey
Overshadowed.
Yeah, Austin said it best if you could hear him. He was a little bit overshadowed. Like, usually Mikey is the comic relief, but the Turtles all were a little bit of their own comic relief, except for Donnie, really. So, like, I don't know. Mikey's kind of... He's not, like, totally in the background, but he kind of is, because everyone else has a more, I would say, noticeable change in character besides Mikey. Like Raph is a lot less angry. Don is more clever. Leo is more cocky. but I haven't during this first episode. I didn't really see anything too different or really eye catching about Michelangelo.
Oh, I'm not. I will agree with you on the fact that there's nothing eye catching about him. But in terms of him not really being different, I gotta say, like I think I did notice something because like before he was more of a I don't know, I don't really know a better way to say this, but like a surfer dude type of character. And now he's just sort of like in a sort of innocent, naive artist. You know, he's the youngest. He's not that. I guess that's why you could. I guess that's why you saw him most of the time, just like tailing Raph. But I don't really want him to be like that. Like I'm not. It is a noticeable change for me at least, but I sort of prefer the old one over him. Just because it's not like the personality is just better. It's just that with the original personality, he was more reckless, and that made him stand out. And but now that pretty much every turtle is reckless except for Donatello, there you don't really see him as much. You know, he doesn't catch your eye. He's not really there as much. He doesn't have as much of a presence because his role as comic relief was just pretty much taken up by Raph and Donnie. I mean, not Donnie. Well, yeah, Donnie, but Raph and Leonardo. That's what I'm saying.
Not to mention, I mean, well, let's not forget about April. Okay, so this is the big one. We don't like the new April at all. I think it's and look, man. I mean, I'm all for seeing African American characters. I mean, hey, I want to see more of us in this kind of stuff. It's important, but her character is just not becoming of the title April O'Neil. Like it's just she is also semi reckless. Oh no, very reckless. I take that back. And that just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, because if you look at every other character, no, every other rendition of April, every other version within the past, she is usually the character that is the voice of reason, or rather the mother to these rowdy teenage turtles. But here, in the first, like even in the first like couple seconds, they do a cannonball, and you think April would be kind of like not totally against them, but kind of like, okay, guys, your fun's over. But no, she goes along with them, and even when they go into Baron's lair, she jumps right into the fight. And I'm like, this is not April. Like, I mean, April doesn't like jump right in and help the turtles fight. She's only human. Like, it just kind of makes the stakes a lot lower when April can go into the fight and do something. I mean, granted, she didn't really do much, but I just don't like her character as being the comic relief in the fight. Like, that's not usually what the role she plays. And I just don't like the characters that actually do that. Now, it could be funny if April was like Casey, for example, because Casey is a human, but he can fight, and he's not as strong as the turtles. It would be interesting to see Casey do that because we know he can fight, but we know he's not as strong as the turtles. But April is not that character. April is the character who is usually pulling strings in the background or is trying to keep everyone safe. Well, everyone meaning the turtles. So I don't know, man. I just don't like the way she handles the situations that they get into. And first and second of all, how does she get into Draxum's area?
Yeah, that was BS. That did not make sense at all. She was being more of a ninja than them. Like, tell me how in the very first fight scene, Raph is all like, "Oh, ninja mode." They get noticed immediately, but when she goes in and tries to invade this whole other dimensional castle, she does not get detected. She finds the weapon room and everything, and she's able to make it back out of the castle in order to meet the turtles at the perfect time. That's just way too convenient. Like, I know it's supposed to be a comedy show, so stuff like that doesn't matter as much. But I would like to see, some a little bit something a little bit less lazy than that. Like that's just how.
Well, I mean, even though that did happen, I must say the turtles' new weapons are pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like their new weapons are pretty awesome. And I like how Donnie just decided not to trade his weapon in. So, because I mean, that sequence when they hit the giant with the bow staff was pretty sweet. And Donnie actually did get a good hit on Baron Draxon too. So, I mean, that was cool. The whole fight sequence was cool. Their weapons are awesome, and they're gonna use those magic weapons, and it's gonna be great. But excuse me, my bad. But go ahead, Austin.
The only magic weapon I really don't like is well, it's not that I really don't like it, but the one that I don't like as much as the others. Let's just say it's my least favorite is Leonardo's portal sword.
That is a bit strange. Like, I mean, a sword that makes portal. I mean, did it? I know it like did something, and it didn't really cut a portal, but it kind of like vibrated, and then the portal came into reality. I'm not sure how it works, but I mean, we don't know how it works yet. But I did think that was a bit weird. I mean, it sounds like it'll be fun to use that for ninja purposes. That makes sense, but I don't know. His is the most unconventional thing. It's like it's weird giving Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles authority over space in the first episode. That's a bit much. But I mean,
That dimensional scissor sword.
exactly. But I mean, I think it'll be fun to see how he uses it. I mean, we don't know like if there are rules, parameters, like all of that. But I mean, it's a bit of an odd choice. But I'll wait to see how it's used.
Yeah. And I also realized I still haven't really talked about the fight scene yet. But you know what? I'm not going to talk about the fight scene because y'all need to go see it for yourself. It's fire. Just take my word for it, alright?
Get your lazy butts on YouTube. Oh, wait, you are on YouTube. But if you can, check out the other couple episodes from the Nickelodeon channel. And don't be like us. So, yeah, if you can, do it. We haven't seen it, unfortunately. We're gonna try. We're gonna try because we really want to see more of this show. The judge should be able to figure this out. I'm not gonna like assign it, like tell you guys it sucks or it doesn't suck. I mean, just figure it out for yourselves. But is it entertaining? Yes. Am I gonna watch? Are we gonna watch more of it? Absolutely. We're just gonna kind of skip through the parts with April.
Wow. But yeah, no. Yeah, I know I'm trying. You kind of sound like a little critical, but at the end of the day, it's entertainment. And is it entertaining? Yes, very. It's probably. I think I already like the show better than like the 2012, honestly. Just because. Oh no, 2014. Oh yeah, 2014. Yeah, that's what I meant. 2014, the 3D one. Whew. Oh no, that was like. Oh no. But yeah, I think I already like it better than the 2014 one. Just because of the 2D animation and the fact that it's awesome and the fight scenes, the type of fight scenes that they have, or from what I've seen, are like ones that I really love. So I'd love to just be able to sit back and watch fun, nonsensical fighting in amazing 2D animation, and with magic, explosive weapons. This is awesome.
I mean, obviously, we do want a coherent story too.
Well, yeah.
But like, Austin's right. That would be pretty awesome. I mean, if that's the purpose of the show, then by all means. But listen, I think I've exhausted my arsenal. What about you?
Yeah. For the most part. Yeah. At the final thoughts. Love the animation and fight scenes. Comedy's great. The characters are pretty good. Yeah, to be continued, I guess. But from what I've seen, it's not bad. I could roll with it for a little bit. And the story seems interesting. I like the new take on everything. You know. Yeah. Other than that, don't like April. Hate April. But yeah. Nothing wrong with her being black. Just I love the fact that she's black. Actually, I just don't like the fact that she's completely different.
Oh yeah, I think you summed up what I was gonna say pretty well. Is I just yeah, as I have no further like analysis than that. That was pretty much my feelings as well. Can't wait to see more of it. Can't wait till it comes out. Check it out when it comes out, and I will see you guys in the next video. In the next video, we're probably going to talk about the new Godzilla movie, Godzilla Monster Planet 2.
Big oofs.
Oof is right.
Big oofs. Big oofs.
All right. Peace.